welcome to the Deep Cut Fandom Podcast. I'm your co-host, Victor, also known as Cassette Man Studios. And as always, I'm here today with...
Robert, a.k.a. Shumworld. So, let's do this, man.
Yeah.
So right now, we're here. We're actually going to be watching Jurassic World Rebirth. And we're just going to share our thoughts on our expectations and stuff. And just what's going on, what we hope to see and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine quick. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna go first. Honestly, I don't have any expectations. I know it takes place on the other islands where they used to breed the dinosaurs and grow them. So I'm hoping it's just a good movie, plenty of action. I mean, it's not the first time Scarlett Johansson has done, like an action film outside of Marvel. She's done The Island, which is a great movie. Michael Bay movie also. Yep. Did you know that?
Michael Bay movie?
Yeah, it's a Michael Bay movie, The Island.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's the one with
Ewan McGregor, a.k.a. Obi-Wan Kenobi, number 2. But, yeah, I mean, I just hope that it's a fun ride. I don't have any expectations, really.
Well, you brought up the good word of fun ride. That's the one I mean by mindsets. It's there's certain... I love every movie. There's multiple genres I enjoy. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to this genre, it's you gotta put your headspace in that type of movie. And for this case, this movie's like a fun ride, like a roller coaster ride.
Right, you just kind of sit back, turn your brain off, and just enjoy the movie, right?
And just look at the spectacle and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I feel the same way also about all the Fast and the Furious movies.
Right.
They're just. I mean, granted, some of the stunts are insane and most likely I was gonna say improbable, yes, but outlandish works too. But that's why I just turn off my brain.
Exactly.
It's not meant to be some serious or cerebral, exactly, or deep. It's just a fun ride.
So that and since this new movie the selling point is the what do you call it, the abomination, the mutations.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I'm curious to see how they're going to approach that, because I think the only there's two mutation characters,
right?
And one of them is a thing called a Mutadon,
right?
Which is looks pretty much the best way I can describe it. Looks like a wyvern. This is basically a raptor and a pterodactyl hybrid of sorts.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I think I want that.
Yep.
Mattel make that
as a toy, right?
Yeah.
So the other one is pretty much the selling point, which is the Stortus Rex.
Right.
That rancor looking thing. So. Or with the big beluga whale.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know why for a split second I kind of forgot what a rancor was, and then I remembered.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Star Wars rancor, the creature from the Jedi movie.
Yeah.
Where Luke was sent to the pit to fight
Yeah, I remember.
Yep. So basically, there's a Mutadon, and then there's another one called the Stortus Rex,
which we've already seen. I think we covered it already, right?
Yeah, the toy and stuff.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I'm looking forward to with the film is that a friend of mine who's watched it, and he told me the cool thing about this film versus the other Jurassic World and / Park films is that this film we're using a lot of dinosaurs that the other films haven't covered. Oh, okay.
So original concepts,
not
or
original,
but they haven't covered in terms of they actually exist, but they just haven't used them.
Yes, the latter.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to as well.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yep. So, but we're gonna get going soon. But I just want to share. Let's talk about that story we had last time we were here.
Oh yeah. So I kind of forgot to insert it, but last time we were here, before we started recording, we actually I'm pretty sure, 98% sure, we had sort of a guest here at Barnes & Noble's.
Yeah, exactly. We had pretty much plain and simple, we had a celebrity encounter.
Yeah, Simone Johnson, a.k.a. Ava from NXT,
right?
Otherwise known as, she's not really, she's otherwise known as Ava, but she's also The Rock's daughter.
Yep, pretty much. Dwayne Johnson's daughter. So
yeah,
and we didn't talk to the girl or anything. Cause,
no,
we just want to respect her space.
Exactly.
But it was cool that hey, you've seen a celebrity.
I mean, we live in New York, so it happens.
Pretty much, dude.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we were just Victor and I were joking on the thought of, hey, would it be funny if another celebrity came here and
Yeah,
was like, hey,
that'd be pretty
just
funny.
walking around like, hey, this person is here and stuff. So, but it was fun to speculate.
Hey, it would be great if Scarlett Johansson was walking around right now.
Oh, yeah, man. Like,
One, she's in the movie. Two, she does live in New York. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because like her husband.
Exactly, Colin Jost, Saturday Night Live. So, unless she travels from LA like or Colin does once a week.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. Pretty sure they live in New York.
Then again, she, like the new thing nowadays that celebrities will just randomly bomb the theaters and just say, hey guys,
Oh yeah.
We hope
I don't
you
know
like our movie.
using the word bomb is a good idea, but I know what you mean. Like they'll just show up. Yeah.
They'll just randomly show up and then just say, hey guys, I hope you like our movie, and then just go away.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So
yeah, again, like I think this movie's gonna be like a fun ride.
Yeah.
Like just joy for the spectacle.
Yeah, same. It looks like it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna turn off my brain, enjoy some popcorn, and hopefully we'll get some cool dinosaur toys out of this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there are some already out. We haven't really covered it because I don't know. Why don't we cover Jurassic Park?
Well, the thing was, like, there's just so much stuff.
That's true. We do cover.
And like, I kind of put it like in brackets. So, like, first is Motu, Masters of the Universe, then Transformers, and maybe G.I. Joe, and everything else.
Yeah,
like,
there's
all the indie stuff, and then
there's a hierarchy, so to speak, of what we cover.
Exactly, but like one of these days, like if
we can do some
see enough
coverage.
content, we'll probably.
Well, I mean, there is content for Jurassic Park, and I do follow a couple of people on Instagram, so that could be something to look forward to.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. So.
Yeah. Well, on that note, and this very brief recording, we're gonna go see Jurassic Park, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you as soon as we get back from the movie.
Yes.
It's the Jurassic Park Command Compound. With an electronic computer that says over 100 commands.
Best film.
We need more firepower.
The computer
Send help.
helps you control Jurassic Park.
Got him.
T-Rex attacking.
Look out, Brad. Fire the net. Got him.
Compound secure.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park Electronic Talking Command Compound. Figures and dinosaurs sold separately. Batteries not included.
And welcome back to the Deep Cut Fandom Podcast. We just finished watching Jurassic Park Rebirth. Damn it, now you got me doing it.
Sorry.
Jurassic World. Jurassic World Rebirth. What'd you think, Rob?
Well, my honest opinion, I feel this film is a great standalone. Like, even though you need some idea on the Jurassic franchise, you can just watch this and just have fun for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to sound like I'm being pessimistic or just being down on it, but like, this movie could kind of stand on its own even without the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's just a great sci-fi film. Like, I would say, as a non-spoiler review, the little things I like is like just being critical. It follows the formula on a story of like just going out on an adventure to a new island and just discovering all these things and trying to go through like a survival. Dealing with all these hazards, which includes a boat crash, a boat ride, and like just dealing with dinosaurs on top of it.
Yeah, it was very much like Dino Crisis. It came out on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So many months ago.
Right, exactly. They need to make a new Dino Crisis. But
That would be cool.
That's another discussion.
That's another discussion.
But when it comes to this, I would say, it's a great film. Like, the stories intertwined together. There's some critiques I have here and there, but not enough for me to say this film's bad. It's still a good film.
Yeah.
So, and like, let's see. The story just follows like Scarlett Johansson's character and the scientist.
I forgot what his name was.
I forgot his name too. And then at the same time, while their mission is to try to like go to a dinosaur island and just get some stuff for
some data, some DNA samples.
there's
Basically.
DNA samples for like a special medicine they want to talk about.
Yeah, I guess we're getting into spoilers now.
Yeah, but that's just the gist of it.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, where it's going through like deal with another side story of this family just trying to survive the dinosaur.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting because you had mentioned before that they kind of had this scene in the movie where they kind of revisited some cutscenes. Was it from Jurassic Park 3? Was it?
Not at all. The whole bit is that Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, they're all started from a novel.
No, right.
And-
Oh wait, it was in the first novel? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what it is, from the first novel. I don't know if it's the first novel, but I know it came from a novel.
Okay.
And that was one of the best, from what I have heard, that was one of the best scenes in the book.
Right.
Was the whole raft, the attack with the raft.
Yeah, which was
with the T-Rex.
pretty cool scene.
Yeah, it was great to see that interpretation.
Yeah.
I would say the dinosaurs they used was like very. They chose like the right sort of dinosaurs. The thing I found cool was I heard somewhere that they redesigned the T-Rex model for this film, so like they didn't like copy it over from the other films. Like they just made a new one. And,
Right.
like it looked more bigger, more ferocious.
I did notice it had like more pronounced like brow over the eyes.
Plus it was fatter.
Yeah, it was kind of fat.
Yes. Great storytelling. features.
Yeah. I feel like there was a reason why he was fat though. I mean,
Yeah, the way he was
in
acting.
the scene, dude was taking a nap.
Right. So the other thing I would say, the big marketing thing was the Distortus Rex and the Mutadon.
Yeah.
It was a great design, I would say. I get why people dislike the whole idea of including the Distortus Rex because it feels like it's going off brand
Right.
for Jurassic World. So, but at the same time, like it was fun to watch. So.
Yeah.
Kind of goes back to your opinion that this film could be its own thing.
Yeah. I mean, and it would stand on its own, and it might even do well. I mean, I don't know how it's doing in the box office right now, but I enjoyed myself for the most part. I mean, it was a little slow at the beginning, a lot of exposition.
Yeah. But I would say the exposition was
It was
necessary.
it was necessary.
Because like it did, like if you're watching this film, like not trying to be like say, oh god, they're following the formula again. It worked. Like it gave me a chance to care for all the characters that are in there.
Right, exactly. Which
There's some characters I care less, and we'll talk about this spoiler territory. But there were a lot of characters I did care for, and when certain things happened, like I felt bad when they happened.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, what you said about the exposition being necessary kind of leads, I mean, that kind of like stems from my thought, which is like, you need that exposition to, like, know your characters.
Right.
Because otherwise they're flat characters, they don't have any life to them.
Yeah, there's
so the
pointless.
exposition was boring. Well, excuse me, not boring. It was a little long.
Yes, I
It was a
agree
little
with that.
long, but it was necessary
Yeah.
for the exposition because then you don't get to know your characters.
Right. But I will say on the exposition, the director tried. I would say the director was really making an effort to make it sound entertaining. Like there are certain shots where they were in a boat, right? And the way they use the lighting, you can actually see the lighting moving in flux because they were in a boat because it's rocking and stuff. So like I thought that was a nice touch for the adding an extra element to the exposition. I'm talking about. It was a scene you probably missed while we were watching.
Do you? What?
Alright, my mistake. What I meant, there were certain scenes where they were doing a lot of character development, not exposition. So like when there were scenes where they were explaining about characters that you can care for,
Right.
They used like a lot of great lighting, like the scene where there's a boat rocking, and they actually show the light moving side to side to actually give that level up, and you're there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely cool. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
well, that's just the gist, because like everything else I'm thinking about is spoiler territory. So
Alright, so I guess that'll take us to spoiler
we're gonna talk
territory.
So like 3, 2,
1.
Yeah, okay, so, all right, first off, I just want to flat out say
The boyfriend?
The boyfriend, yeah.
Oh my god.
I can't stand that dude, man. Like
I wanted him to get eaten.
yeah, like that. I remember when we were talking, I kept telling him, I kept doing this punch.
Just punching him?
Punch gesture right next to you. Say, dude, I want to punch that guy so badly.
Yeah.
He just has a punchable personality.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Like he didn't care about anything, and then there were moments where I'm like, dude, you're just killing the mood, or you just acting like such an a-hole in the wrong places. Where like the family is just saying, what the hell's going on with you, man? Why are you saying this in this moment? Like, hey, I got some weed. I'm like, what? Like,
yeah, that was. I felt like that part was like a really just like kind of unnecessary.
yeah.
You know, because it's like you've got this situation where it's like dad with his 2 daughters and one of the daughters' boyfriends.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend puts no effort to try and get in good with the dad. Like,
Right.
Like that just like either the daughter is really, really fucking stupid
Yeah.
or the dad just didn't give a damn. But
Right.
obviously he gave a damn.
Yeah, you could tell he was being patient. as
Yeah.
heck.
Oh, hell's yeah. You know,
And forgiving as hell. Like,
yeah, you know, and then he's like, oh, you guys smoke weed? I'm like,
Yeah.
come on now.
exactly. And then that scene when he had to take a pee break and he walked all the way over there, away from the family and stuff. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of unnecessary. Like,
I get the privacy thing, but at the same time, it's like they're like in a near-death situation where there's creatures everywhere.
yeah.
And I would assume that the most important thing is to stay together.
Yeah, and also, like, if he's pissing in the water, because you could clearly tell he's pissing in the water, even though, like, the shot is, like,
Yep.
above his belly button.
Right.
You know, it's like, he just crossed the water to get to that one spot. He could have just peed right then and
Exactly.
there.
That's what I mean. Like he just walked too far off.
Yeah, like,
You go what?
it was a little unnecessary. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. But
it's things like that that will affect my overall rating on this movie.
exactly. Like the other thing I would say that affect my rating was that whole scene when the doctor, the professor was trying to like eat that breath mint, and he just spent it took like a good minute.
Yeah, like, I don't know what, like, I felt like they were trying to build something up with that.
Right.
But it went nowhere because there seemed to be that sort of tension between the doctor and Scarlett Johansson's character, but like, dude, we didn't even get a kiss out of it.
Yeah.
Like, if we had gotten like a kiss at the end of the movie
Right.
between them two, I would have been like, okay. But instead she's like, yeah, let's give the cure out to the rest of the world instead of sharing it with the company that they went to go get the blood samples for.
So maybe they might do that in the second movie. 'Cause That's
Well,
what
that's
happened.
if there's a second movie.
Well, that's what they did with the first world and what's the other one they call Kingdom? So
Fallen Kingdom?
yeah.
Oh, don't even remind me about Fallen
But the
Kingdom.
point I'm making is that when it comes to the relationship part, I think they'll probably build on it if they make a sequel. But that's just what I'm.
I know, but they left it so flat. You know,
I
like
think-
they didn't really build it up. They just let it sit there, which I thought was a terrible thing to do. Like, at least give us a kiss at the end of the movie, dude.
Well, I think I would say metaphorically, her agreeing with him on what to do with the samples is
Yeah.
a kiss.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily metaphorically
Or
a kiss, but
emotional connection.
Yes. That's exactly what I was going to get at. There is that emotional connection now because of what they had gone through.
Right.
But like, it just felt, it felt a little flat.
Yeah,
Like, it needed a little bit more.
I felt it was enough from my perspective.
That's fair.
But speaking of the ending, going back to the whole boyfriend thing, there was a scene where Ruben,
Oh, the dad.
no,
Yeah.
not the dad. I'm not talking about that. The character, the captain, Mahershala
Oh.
Ali's character, the one with the
Duncan.
beret.
Was it Duncan?
Yeah, Duncan. If it's Duncan, I'll say Duncan. But there was a scene where Duncan was gonna do the ultimate sacrifice.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah, we
With the
gonna
flares?
play as a decoy with the flare, trying to like distract the
Distorted
Rex away from the family and the other characters.
Yeah.
And it was implied that he died. But thankfully later on in the film he shows up.
Yeah, which kind of, I like that because they showed that he was being brave and just trying to save everyone else, but without having to make the sacrifice. Granted, you know, like it does help in terms of the movie to like try and sacrifice yourself for everyone else's sake. That's a very noble thing to do. Yeah, I understand that. I get it. But I feel like Duncan was such a likable character that you don't want to see him die.
Well, okay, so that we had this conversation off camera, and there's to a degree I feel torn. On one hand, I felt he was the right guy to do that sacrifice story arc because he's the one that we all cared about as the film, you know, when the film was being when we were watching the film, progressing. That he was the one that we cared about the most. So when if he was to die, that it hurt. And it was implied he died. But at the same time, I kind of felt that maybe the boyfriend should have played that role.
And actually died?
Either that, like, because like I didn't like that guy, man.
Yeah,
I felt like if he did the whole sacrifice thing, that I felt that would have helped his character out.
I will give it to the writer and the actor though. Yes. That kid did make you want to hate him.
Right. But the point I'm trying to make is that if he did die, I would have been happy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree.
But if he didn't die, you know, at least it gave him some kind of like I could give him some kind of respect for doing the ultimate sacrifice.
Exactly.
And then the family will eventually connect with him for making that sacrifice. But at the same time, I felt like the captain's character, Duncan, that I think he was the right choice to a degree because he's the one I actually felt for when he made the sacrifice. Because if it was the boyfriend that did it, I was gonna say, yes, he's finally gonna die.
I was waiting for him to die. He didn't die. I was fucking disappointed.
Yeah, but yeah, I think when it came to the whole sacrifice scene, like Duncan was probably the best choice. Not when I really, really think about it.
Yeah, because everyone else had gotten killed anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, the Stortus Rex again, like. There were so many things I wish they did with it, but at the same time, I like what they did. But speaking of which, the dude is huge, man.
I think that's probably why he moved so slow. Because also, I noticed he had like a little like gimpy arm. Yeah. And then he had like two big giant gorilla arms.
Yeah, like these two big giant gorilla and these little like gimpy arms. Like one of my friends described him. He looked like the creature from the Cloverfield film.
Yeah, he kind of did. A little bit. Yeah. And a beluga whale. Right, a beluga whale. As you've mentioned before.
Right, like, he ultimately looked like a Rancor from Star Wars, but you know, if you want me to use the more practical animals, he definitely looked like a beluga whale with that weird, like, giant bulbous head of his.
Yeah.
The thing I kept saying to Victor off camera was that I was surprised that they didn't use the whole toy gimmick. Because like the toy, he has like a little feature when he presses button, and he'll do like this weird seizure attack, and he never did anything like that in the films. And I was like, "What's going on?" Well, I was expecting a whole seizure attack.
I mean, I'm that thing was ugly, man. That thing was fucking ugly.
It's supposed to be ugly, man.
Yeah.
But speaking of critiques on the creatures, the Mutodons, like you kind of commented that they look like turkeys and stuff.
Yeah, I was hoping they look a little bit cooler, but they literally do look like turkeys, like pterodon wings.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was expecting it was gonna be a pterodon wings, but with a raptor head. This is supposed
That's what I was thinking too when you described it.
Right, because it was supposed to be kind of like the raptor's equivalent.
They kind of were.
Yeah, they were, but it's just I wish they had more raptor features.
Yeah. And that would have definitely like shown that they have that level of intelligence, like in the first movie, or any other movie that they're in.
Plus, make them look like a threat. Because like
more of a threat, I would say.
Yeah, because the whole turkey thing, that's
it kind of diminishes the threat value a little bit.
Yeah. But on the other hand, like we talked about the T-Rex, that was a great scene.
That was
the water raft scene.
I only have speaking of the T-Rex, I have one issue with that scene with the T-Rex and the raft. Dude, his teeth were pushing into the raft, and you're telling me you couldn't cut into the raft?
Well, you gotta imagine though, he's so big that he's just got like very.
I guess.
Even though the teeth are sharp.
Yeah,
it's probably
sharp.
But for a creature in his equivalent compared to sharp to us, maybe it's still like a little like.
Yeah,
dull.
probably.
And I think the real thing that makes him vicious is how strong his jaw is.
That's true. It's like a pit bull with a
Yeah,
mouth
you
full of
want-
daggers.
Yeah, exactly. So if you really want me to be picky, maybe
I don't know. I mean, either way, it was a great scene. Don't get me wrong. It was a great scene. I just found that part a little odd.
Right.
With when he's pressing into the raft and you see the indention of his teeth in the raft, but yet it's still not cutting through.
Yeah. But speaking of these little quibbles, is that the right word? Quibbles. That the thing that makes me laugh about that the entire film, what caused the film to happen, the island, right?
Yeah.
Where the Saurus Rex just broke out of it and stuff. The whole story rested upon the fact that someone was eating a Snickers bar, and the wrapper just happened to fly into like the air conditioning vent, and the moment it hit the vent, the whole door broke.
I swear to God, I thought that wrapper was following the guy into the room that he was going into, and then I'm like. And the worst part is like you see him eating the candy bar. It's a fucking Snickers.
Yeah, it's Snickers.
Like
he put it in the
hard-
camera like this, like, I'm gonna eat a Snickers, and then
It was like such blatant product placement.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
yes.
And it was the same thing in the scene with the Mutadons.
Yeah.
Like when they're in the like convenience store
Right.
on the island.
Right.
Like you could see like certain names
Yep.
from brands. I'm like, oh god.
Especially when the family teamed up with Scarlett Johansson's character group, and then you see the boyfriend like eating M&Ms and stuff,
Yeah. That was,
or that scene where Scarlett Johansson's character, I think, I got her name.
Zora?
Zora, yes, Zora. Yeah, where she found footprints, and she's like, and then the guys are saying it could be anything. He's like, saying, but it's Nikes.
Yeah, wearing Nikes? Like,
Yeah.
like oh my god. And then you could see I don't know about you, but I noticed that the teenage girl with the boyfriend.
Yep.
Was it Teresa? Was it? Yeah, it was Teresa.
Yeah.
I mean, they pronounce it Teresa, which is Spanish for Teresa.
Yep.
But either way, like you could, when there's a point where she's like going up this like steps,
Yep.
and you see the Converse All Star logo in there. I'm like, okay, at least she had taste and see.
Well, in some cases, like at the end of it, brand marketing, product placement. Yeah, the product placement is a little too blunt.
Yeah, Runt's putting it nicely.
Right. But again, I thought it was so funny when you bring up the whole that the Snicker bar's wrapper just flew into the air. Like I was just thinking while you were complaining, I was thinking maybe there's a crossover from Final Destination with Jurassic.
Oh my god, yeah, because that wrapper followed the guy in a very Final Destination kind of way.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say I take points at it. I just find it comical that rapper was the catalyst for this entire film.
I mean, that's kind of why you watch the Final Destination movies, though, right? To see how everyone dies.
Exactly, but in Jurassic.
I don't think they have that like brick to the head subtlety though of product placement.
Right, but again, I just found it comical. Like rapper.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a movie. All I gotta do is go inside this air conditioning vent. There, movie made.
There's your story.
Exactly. So I was just cracking up. I was just cracking up inside when that happened.
Yeah.
But the other thing I would say that how to describe it. I don't know how I feel about it, but I find it interesting that this film they pretty much did like a soft reboot from what took place in the last 3 films, where they stated that last 6 films, I should say. But
because you know there's a callback to the original trilogy, right?
Right. So the thing is, I just want to talk about how like they kind of did like a scroll.
Yeah.
Just to point out all the events that they said that, well, since dinosaurs have become the new normal, things happen, and then all the dinosaurs went. They either end up in a zoo or they go to the island.
Or they died.
Yep, or they died. So it's like they pretty much just did it like a clean slate from what happened in Dominion. I think it was the last Jurassic Park.
I think it was Dominion. Yeah.
So because in Dominion, they implied that there were dinosaurs everywhere.
Yeah,
and now,
which is true. And then it's like years later, and like they were either dying off because of disease,
Right.
or like the cold, because dinosaurs can't handle cold weather.
Right.
So like somewhere in New York, they really can't deal too well with them.
And they just migrated to like islands and stuff. So
Along the equatorial band.
Yes.
So places like Ecuador and like Brazil and any country along the equator.
Like on one hand, I think it was kind of interesting that they found a way to like normalize dinosaurs into this world.
Right.
And there's like little things where they introduce sci-fi technology, but it's almost like grounded technology to a degree. Like
it's not like
these
hard
shots.
sci-fi, but it's sci-fi.
Yeah, like they're using these special shots to gather DNA.
Oh yeah, that was pretty
And
cool.
then the shots will like once they gather the DNA, shoot up and turn like a little with a parachute.
That was really cool.
Like
because it kind of functions like a tranq gun, or like it shoots into it, but instead of injecting something into your target, it pulls out blood, and then which is really cool. Is like you press a button or something, I guess, and like it shoots back forward to you. Because that was one thing I'm like, wait, how are they gonna get these things back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
when then they did the parachute thing, I was like, oh,
yeah.
It's almost like a video game to a degree.
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah. Yet again, Dino Crisis.
Yeah. The other thing I thought was kind of a fun, like little simple storytelling trick was they talked about how they had to gather DNA from certain dinosaurs.
Right.
And the way they described it was like you gotta get one dinosaur from sea, you gotta get another one from air, and another one from land.
Right.
I thought that was fun, in my opinion. So.
I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I don't know if I liked it in to the level that you do, but yeah, it was definitely like something interesting to see happen.
Right. And then the nice choices of dinosaurs, like they did the Mosasaurus. They did some new stuff with the Spinosaurus.
Yeah.
And they finally showed off one of the more recently discovered dinosaurs, which is
The Tucano?
no, they already did that in the last film.
Okay, so
The new one was Titanosaurus.
Titanosaurus, yeah.
I keep getting mixed up whenever I hear the term Titanosaurus.
With Titanosaur?
Yeah.
Godzilla?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The dude even has frills, like
I know.
like the Godzilla one.
It's possible that monster is based off the dinosaur. I mean, I don't know. I'm just venturing a guess here.
If it is, that'd be a cool guess, but I'm thinking it's just a happy coincidence because I believe the Titanosaurus was rediscovered probably a few years ago.
Okay, so like within this decade or at least
Right,
within this century?
Well, decade, I would say. The century
So within the past 10 years?
Yeah, at least the past 10 or maybe 15 years at most. Like 2 decades at most, because didn't what's the name of that? Terra Mechagodzilla, where Titanosaur was introduced. That was like around 70s, right?
Either 60s or 70s, but yeah, around that time period, yeah.
So like I'm thinking,
Okay,
the discovery.
I get what you're getting at. Yeah.
The discovery of the Titanosaurus probably at least 20 years, I'd say.
Or how about this? Maybe they named it after the Godzilla character.
That's a possibility.
I don't know. Chime in, guys.
Yeah, that'd be comical in itself. But it's just again, like whenever I hear the word Titanosaurus, I think about the monster from the Godzilla films.
Yeah. Well, on that note, it seems like we're running out of steam here.
Yeah.
So let's give our final ratings, and then we'll cut back to our future selves where we'll do the rest of the news.
Yes. So I would say for me, I knew this is the type of film you have to know what you're getting into, and when you look at this film, this is pretty much like a roller coaster ride, and where you just have to deal with all these stunts and attacks, and just try to see. It's like a survival film to a degree.
Yeah.
And I felt it did what it had to do. It's a great standalone film. So there are some things I mentioned that I'm not happy with, like the boyfriend. Man, I couldn't stand that too.
Yeah, that's definitely going to go into affect my rating.
Yeah, that affects my rating a lot. Like I felt they could have toned them down a little bit more. The product placement, I'll say I'm entertained by it.
Yeah.
And because I'm entertained by how they did the product placement, I'm not taking points away from it.
Same.
So So ultimately, I would say out of a 4 out of 5 rating, I give this a very solid 4. Or either a solid 4 or weak 5, but I'm thinking solid 4.
On a scale of 1 to 10, would you say that's a 7 or an 8?
I'd say it's an 8, but I personally like to use 5. If you want to use 10, I'd say...
Just because I like to get a little bit more granular with it.
Right.
I would give it like a 7.
Okay.
I
So
would
we're
give it a
kind
7.
of...
Yeah, we're more or less around the same.
Right.
I guess maybe I'm being a bit harsher on it. I don't know. I just thought that, like I said, it was a little... The beginning was a little too much exposition, too much, like, not enough getting to the action right away.
Yeah.
But after that, it's a solid film, and like I said, I had issues with the boyfriend also. Like but you know that's just kind of like testament to like how good the actor was with what the script that he was given, because he made us really hate that character.
Right.
We like a lot of people I noticed online will confuse the actor with the character,
Right.
and forget that it's the character that they're playing, not them. That is like, say, an asshole or whatever.
Oh, of course. Like, I'm not a...
No, I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying other people online will do that.
Right. But my complaints were not in the actor, but more in the writing, the director, the editing.
Okay.
So that which falls into the film. So
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. So 4 out of 5, 7 out of 10 for me, which more or less is about the same. I would say mine would probably be, I guess that's more like a 3.5 to be on like a 1 to 5 scale.
Yeah.
But overall, it's an okay film.
it's good. It's worth watching. I'd say like maybe you want like a fun time. If you're having a bad day and you just want to watch a film to have fun with, this is the film, I would say.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with that, but I do want to add, I would not pay full price for a ticket to see this movie.
Yeah, we watched matinee.
We did not pay matinee prices, dude.
$2 off. Cheaper.
We did not pay matinee prices. Don't listen to Rob. Any other time, listen to Rob, but don't listen to Rob this time.
But yeah,
It's like if you catch a matinee, and pay like anything less than what a regular full price ticket is, and you're in the area. I mean, we live in New York City, so ticket prices tend to be way higher than outside of New York City. Wait, let me rephrase that. Ticket prices in New York City are higher than anything outside of New York City. So but either way, yeah, I'll just wait for it to come out streaming somewhere, or just, I mean, it's a good film. It's a good film.
It's fun.
It was fun. Just, I wouldn't recommend paying full price for it, unless you really want to see it. In which case,
I would say, okay, just my thoughts. I think this is a film that's worth watching for the spectacle of it, and you can get that spectacle watching it on the big screen. That's just me.
That's fair. I respectfully disagree. Well, you know what? Actually, no. If you're watching it on IMAX, it's worth it.
Yeah.
If you're watching it on IMAX, it's probably worth it. Just because there's a lot, especially the scenes with the Mosasaurus.
Yes.
And probably the
that was a great
Titanosaurus
scene.
also.
That was a great scene with the Mosasaurus.
Yeah, the Quetzalcoatl scene. I don't think it would be alright on IMAX, but the other two scenes definitely worth it if you're watching it on IMAX.
But yeah, the speaking of the Quetzalcoatlus, like it was huge, man. Like when he showed him, like when they were like rising, you see him like eating the dude. I was like, I didn't expect him to be that big.
Yeah, me too.
Because like,
I mean, but they did say they were the biggest of land, sea, and air, so it makes sense. But yeah, I wasn't expecting him to be that big either.
yeah, like I thought he was big, but then when they showed him standing next to people, I was like, whoa, this dude was huge.
I'm sorry, but I also think that he could have fought his way out of that Quetzalcoatl.
Maybe,
He swallowed him whole. Dude, it's like
maybe he had like a knife and just like he punch him by the gums. He'd be like, ah.
maybe he's got a knife on his boot like military people do.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, speaking of which, the guy who got eaten by the Quetzalcoatlus, I wish he didn't die. Like, out of all,
Yeah, he was kind of cool. Like, he didn't have that much character development, but he was kind of cool.
he had enough to make you care for him.
Yeah. I mean, they were all decent characters, albeit maybe a little flat for the ones that got eaten.
Yep.
Except for the
girl,
the executive guy.
The executive guy. Oh yeah, I wanted him to die.
Yeah. Well,
It was obvious he was gonna die.
Yeah,
it was just a matter of when, not if.
Right. But speaking of which, just to keep furthering the Rancor reference, the fact is that he almost got eaten exactly like a Rancor.
Yeah, he did. You know, that actually might be make it worth it also to see.
Yeah. But,
Either way,
yeah.
go see it. It's a good film. Don't pay full price though, in my opinion. Go, definitely see it.
Yeah,
definitely see it.
Or, you know, if you're streaming it, you'll have fun.
Yeah. And on that note, we will shoot to our future selves.
And welcome to the future. We did our review for Jurassic World Rebirth, and we're back home in our cozy homes on this summer day, and we got a bunch of news to catch up on.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
let's get to it.
Right.
I hope everyone enjoyed our review. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. This 4th of July weekend. And let's get on with it.
Yep, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So what would you like to start with, Vic?
We could start with... there's some great King of Fighters news.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So 2 separate companies have... they're coming out with King of Fighter figures. Storm Collectibles and...
Joy Toys.
Joy Toy. But right now, this is the images of the Japanese team from King of Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, it's not a lot to go on, but they look pretty cool. And Storm Collectibles is really killing it with these, like fighting game figures.
Right,
like
Storm
Goro.
Indeed, Storm Collectibles has been making like this new subline, which is called Storm Arena. And the difference between Storm Arena and Storm Collectibles is the scale. The Storm Collectibles is like 110, I believe, and so hence it's technically 7 inches tall.
Well, I'm saying it's true 112 scale. But...
Well, no, that's what I mean. This is Storm Arena. Storm Arena is 112.
Oh, right. You're saying Storm Collectibles is okay. I got
right.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I gotta emphasize the last word. So Storm Arena is 112. Storm Collectibles is 110. So, so this is Storm Arena, where the new the initiative is to make 112 scale figures, and they started with Street Fighter, and now they seem to be branching out to King of Fighters. So from Capcom to SNK.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. Like ideally it would be great to see like every fighting game that ever came out with a new like figure. So like hey, Storm Collectibles or Storm Arena, give me like, well maybe not, give me like World Heroes, Art of Fighting. And when I say Art of Fighting, I don't mean just the main team from KOF.
Right.
Like, give me Duck King and Mr.
Yeah, from
Big.
Fatal Fury, Mr. Big, Duck King, Geese Howard.
Yeah, from Fatal Fury. Yeah, Samurai Showdown, dude. How awesome would that be?
Oh yeah, definitely. You get Halmaru in the line.
Yeah. I mean, this is really cool. I wish they had more to show us, but this is really cool.
Right.
And if I collected this scale, I would definitely get these.
Yeah, I think that Storm Arena is like still somewhat very new. They haven't their actual toys that they released was Ken and Ryu, but we haven't seen anything else beyond that. Like we've only seen prototypes, if anything else.
Yeah.
But they look great so far.
They do. They really do. Which is awesome. But as you know, I'm more of a 1/18 scale or 3 3/4 inch guy. So, King of Fighters from Joy Toy, we're starting out with the Ikari Team. So you got your Clark, which is looking pretty cool. I love how they do these turnarounds for Joy Toy. Joy Toy is always they're pretty complete when I love that pose on Clark.
Yep. One of his wrestling moves.
Yeah.
Oh, they gave him an effect to do that Gatling punch.
Did you notice that Benny Maru's in this?
Yeah, I'm trying to be double sure if that's a 112 scale Benimaru or
Well, I mean, if this is supposed to be, this is 118 scale.
right.
So there's a 118 scale Benimaru, which means most likely there'll be a 118 scale Japanese team.
Yeah.
My
Look,
God.
he's even got the effect for that Gatling punch right there.
Yeah, I know. It's so cool. You could actually see the arm there too.
Hmm. Oh, you can actually do the effect for his wrestling moves and stuff.
Yeah. This is awesome. Oh, sweet. A background.
Yeah, I think that's the Japan background.
That is awesome. And you kind of get like a little Bumblebee action there.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
That's cool. Oh, see, they're doing the Japanese team also.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. They got Kyo and Gore. Okay, so you know what? Storm Collectibles doesn't need to do any 118 scale anymore. Then
Yeah.
I got Joy Toy for that. Yay!
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And they actually you can tell these guys are really big fans because they're recreating all the poses and everything.
I know. And then those backgrounds are gorgeous.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I got it. Oh my god.
Oh, look, she can even do the crescent moon attack.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, there's Kyo doing his moves. Yeah, this is awesome. Yep. I need to get these. I need to get these.
Will they scale with your G.I. Joe figures?
They'll be a little bit bigger, but that's fine. I mean, they'll probably scale with like 25th anniversary or figures. You know, not the O-ring figures, but the other ones, the newer modern ones. Look at that. There's Leona.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, she has Leona Hindern?
Yeah, she's the adopted daughter of Hindern.
Oh, okay. Kind of what I was thinking. I just didn't realize she was adopted.
Right.
I like how they did the knees here. Like you can kind of tell, like see the shape of the knee without it being so, like kind of awkward looking.
Yeah.
You know.
They seem to be using that new technique I'm seeing with a lot of more higher price figures, especially in the back of the knee. Like if you notice, it's multiple joints to create that knee.
Yeah, because that's a swivel hinge right there, and then I guess that's
like an H whatever.
That's the knee in the front.
Yep.
And then it goes over that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks a little awkward from behind, but generally you're gonna be looking at a figure from the front. So.
Yeah, but I think it's necessary to make a more well sculpted articulation joint.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it looks a lot. It looks pretty good. It looks good. You know.
Oh, and there's that one of her moves.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of stand work there, but that looks cool.
Right. I wonder, does it include the stands? Yeah, it must be. Oh yeah, she even got her V cut. That victory slash of hers.
Oh yeah. That's cool. 11.3 centimeters. All right, so she's a little bit bigger than 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, they're probably including her hair.
Yeah. There's my boy Ralph.
Looks cool.
Yeah. He was one of my favorites playing the game. Like he's when it came to him, he was like one of the few characters when I played in a video game where I was able to do his finisher the right way, which is to be like a turtle for 5 seconds.
Yeah. The level of details on these figures are amazing.
Yeah, especially for they're 4 inches tall, right?
More or less, yeah. It's like 1/8.
Oh, there's his move.
I mean, Ralph here is like 12.3 centimeters, so that's closer to like 5 inches. But they're tall, so that makes sense. Look at that.
There you go. There's that Gatling punch of his.
Yeah. So cool.
I remember that move.
Yeah, I want to get these guys.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start it over from the beginning. So yeah, that's pretty cool. you know.
Right.
Um,
I'm wondering what the price is going to be if it's coming with all three of them, especially with those. If it's coming with all three of them, I should say. What did it say on the website?
I don't. You know what? That's a good question.
Mm. But in any case, like I've had a lot of fond memories with King of Fighters, especially. I believe it was '98 that we debuted, where you can like do all this cool stuff. Like you had like a lot of figure characters in that game, and like I think you had like the Orochi team, with the final. That was the one with the final boss with Orochi, right?
What, 98?
Yeah.
I don't remember. By the way,
yeah.
these are like according to the article on Torark, it's each figure's priced at $42.32 thanks to a limited time sale, while the Japan Street base is priced at $38. Oh, so you gotta buy this base separate.
Oh. The bases are separate.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks like you get the whole thing, I guess, because I don't think it's gonna be just 1/4 of that. It's gonna be, $38. If it is,
right,
they're on something, because it shouldn't cost that much.
Mm.
Not for a couple of slabs of plastic and some cardboard, I'm assuming, for the background.
Yes.
But yeah, like $45. Let's say, for the sake of discussion, it's like $45. That's not bad.
Right. Yeah, especially for a premium price product.
Exactly. These are high-end figures, This is
it's not retail.
This is not like some Hasbro figure you just, picking up at, well, not Toys R Us anymore, at a Walmart, let's say,
Yeah, Walmart or Target.
Yeah.
But it looks fun. Like I'm happy for anyone who owns it.
Yeah, I think I want to order them.
Best of luck with them. I'm curious to see how they scale with your figures, like the 3 3/4, the 5.5.
Yeah.
So I mean,
5.5, that might be a little. They'll
still
look
might be
thin
short
compared to Master figures.
Yeah,
they might still be a little
right.
short also.
That's gonna rock, dude. So yeah, but now, is there anything else you want to cover with the KOF stuff?
No, I think I'm good at that.
So let's go to Motu, because we got a lot of Motu stuff going on. Like,
yeah. Kick it into gear.
Yes. So like, let's start with the packaging art they did for that SDC exclusive in
yes, the
Skelle-Shredder, which is this thing right here, man. Yeah, look at that package art. Bro.
That's a beauty. Look at that. That's
indeed.
Awesome.
Indeed, man. So like, man, it's gonna be so well decorated. Like it opens up with the skull, the upper jaw being the skull. It's almost kind of like a play on Castle Grayskull there.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's all like a slipcase too, which is really nice.
Yep. Look at that, man. So you're, if I'm not mistaken, this thing is be available for order after the con is over.
Right. And I'm gonna have to probably try and get one.
Yeah, I think the throne alone would be like a great display case. Look at that art.
Yeah.
Yep, we got more of that production designs and pictures and stuff.
$45 is actually not bad for that, I think.
Yeah,
because you get all those little extras, which I'm sure is further down though.
Yeah, we did last episode. I think we covered the.
That's right, we did.
All the extra stuff you can do with it. Like, it seems like you got multiple heads, multiple ways of displaying the figure.
Yeah.
You can do this one with the giant head, and one with, and that weapon, which is like a combination of Shredder and Skeletor's Havoc Staff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep. There we go. More pictures of the fig. Even you get a comic right there.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you're getting this thing, right?
Most likely.
Okay, okay. So yep, looks like it's gonna be awesome, dude. So
Yeah.
and then other than that, let's see. We also got yeah, there's this rumor coming up about Masterverse line. They're getting a new subline for the movie that's upcoming around 2026.
Yeah.
In where because like when it comes to Masterverse, it seems like they get like a mix of sublines within it. Like there's New Eternia, there's Revelations, now Revolution, and then there's like the classic movie line within Masterverse, and it seems like the next one is called Chronicles, and the Chronicles line will be focusing on the 2026 movie that's coming up.
Right.
And the first figure that's being released is Scareglow, rumored.
Yeah. If that rumor is true, um, that's a pretty interesting choice, and it also makes
Yes.
me think that Scarecrow's in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
If it's true, of
So
course.
right. But you know, like if but as far as Scareglow is concerned, the closest we got to a preview of Scareglow came from one of the new Eternia packaging from the Ninja box.
Right.
So your guess is as good as mine. Like there's a part of me that feels like that the Scareglow thing is most likely kind of like a placeholder of some sorts that maybe they just misinterpreting it as somebody else. Like if it's not Scareglow, maybe it's Skeletor.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just
maybe.
throwing
I
it
don't
out
know.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the whole thing. The theory I have with Goatman that's the someone misinterpret that as Beastman since Beastman and Goatman are animal type people. So
Yeah.
there's a part of me that feels like it's not really Scareglow. It just happens to be Skeletor, but someone misinterpreted it because they're both skeletons. That's where my
Yeah.
head is
That's
when it comes to
possible.
stuff like this. So I
Yeah.
mean, especially when it's a rumor.
Yeah. Yeah. That that kind of makes sense.
Right.
That kind of makes
So
sense.
that's what I'm thinking. But you know, the fact is that it seems like anything that has to do with the 2026 movie is going to be called Chronicles. So it makes me wonder, do you think that might be the title for the upcoming movie? That they're not calling it Masters of the Universe, it's going to be called Chronicles of the Masters of the Universe or some crap like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I can see why you would think that, but I'm thinking they're just trying to give it a name that's kind of like an overall kind of like let you cover a little bit of everything, you know?
Right. Yep. Well, whatever the case, you know, I'm sure it's going to be fun. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So, other than that, then the next thing we got is let's see. Okay, let's go with that. So then the next thing that I wanted to bring up was let's see. The next thing I wanted to bring up was that there's another rumor for for this subline that we kept hearing about called 2000X for Origins. It's like a subline where they're focusing on some of the 2000X characters. And the rumor is that there's going to be a release of Beastman in a deluxe packaging and a fan channel exclusive of Randor, King Randor. But here's just my speculation. We kind of came into the same conclusion that when it comes to Randor, I think it's going to be Randor before he became the king. So I was, you know,
Yeah.
either like Commander
Captain
Randor
Randor,
or
was it?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain. Well, yeah, we're kind of in the same page. When he had like that helmet that looked like a tuning fork.
Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah,
did look like a tuning fork.
exactly, but in a good way. It looked like a cool tuning fork.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right. But the point I'm trying to make that for it to be an exclusive means that there's some kind of special. It's going to be kind of a very obscure type of version of Randor, and the only way I could think of was when he wore that helmet before, like
Yeah.
pre King Randor.
Yeah.
So, and maybe he might come with the sword. Now, not that sword in the picture, but because if you remember, he Randor when he one of the coolest weapons was he had like a cross hilt on his sword.
Right.
So and Beastman, him being a deluxe is interesting. Like I'm wondering if he's gonna have like that hulking, like hunched over appearance he had in.
I feel like they probably will.
Mhm. Maybe he'll have bigger arms. Just something to make him more gorilla looking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like he's definitely gonna have like like maybe a huge
Massiveness
torso,
to him.
and maybe some fur, soft good furs like they did with the first new Eternia one, because I don't know if you remember, the first new Eternia figure was like that.
Oh, all right. Oh, you talk about new Eternia and the Masterverse line.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's a what if, that's for sure. Like I just need to see it to make up my mind if he is to come out. So.
Yeah.
But the fact is, we're getting so much news on this rumored 2000X line makes me wonder. You think we might see some previews of these figures at 2026?
Oh,
No, let me rephrase that. From San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yep.
It would be cool.
Yep. Here's hoping.
I would not be mad if they did.
Yes. So, yep. But yeah, the fact is that we're getting so many rumors about Masterverse, Masters of the Universe going to have a 2000X subline. Makes me a little more excited for it, because I've said it so many times. Like 2000X holds a very special place in my heart.
Yeah.
So, and I just because the fact that they made the Snake Man front and center and stuff. So.
Right.
So aside from that, the other rumor that's going around is that there's a wave that the other line they have, which is Masters Universe crossing over with Thundercats, that there's a rumor of a Wave 3 coming in that's confirmed for Wave 3. And the three figures that are in the rumor is a repaint. I mean, they're mostly just repaints or redos of existing figures from both Wave 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And the figures that are rumored is Panther Man, which is a repaint of Battlecat, and Lion, and another version of Lion-O, and another version of Panthro. So here's my thoughts with I shared with you off camera, Vic, is that when it comes to Lion-O, my gut tells me that if it is true, then this version is going to have a knife version of the Sword of Omens, because since that sword was known to turn to a knife into a sword, so I'm thinking he's gonna have a knife instead of a sword of Omens. Yeah. Maybe with those little hook things, like crest down, so that or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So that's one theory I have. The other theory is that since the claw shield from the Wave 1 version of Lion-O seems to be something no one's liking, then maybe this version will have a better claw shield. So
it's possible. I mean, as much as I would hate to buy a second Lion-O, I wouldn't mind if it had those bits in there.
Right. Yeah, maybe you can do something else with the other the supposed version 2 Lion-O if my prediction comes true. So
exactly.
And as for Panthro, I can't think up of anything on what a second version of Panthro would be. The only thing I could think of, and I would find it insulting, is that he'll have proportionate arms, because the one that's coming out in Wave 2, I'm not liking those arms, man.
Yeah, I know. They're big, giant gorilla arms. They look really... Even on I feel like the Lion-O even looks a little goofy, because I feel like he has big giant arms also.
Yeah.
Which is not cool. Like, what the hell, Mattel? What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Oh, just to let the viewers know that these pictures, they're not the official pictures. These are just mostly fan customs of what it could possibly look like. So
Yeah, I mean that clearly is. Yeah.
a custom. So I'm just looking to see if there's any pictures of the actual figures. So
No,
that
I don't think there
yep,
are. Because this is also a rumor, so.
right. So, but yes, but whatever the case, like if they're going to have to make like alternate versions of these characters, especially so early, I hope they're worth it.
Uh, we'll see. I mean, I wave 3. Jesus Christ! Like,
It's
unless you're
incredibly
doing 2
early.
waves a year, it feels like it's too soon for a repaint.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
plus, I don't know. It's just like I feel that spot could have been used for somebody else.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I really want like a mutant of
Or I don't
sorts.
know, Wily Kitten Cat.
That's a possibility. But again, yeah, again, like it could be anybody, but a like what do you call it, a refresh of some sorts, or a second version of an existing figure that just came out and on wave 1 and 2. So
Yeah, it really makes me question what they're doing. Not that they don't know what they're doing, but I'm like, what are you guys up to? You know what I mean?
yes,
So hopefully they know what they're doing.
yes,
No, I mean they probably know what they're doing.
right. But again, we're kind of in this only time will tell kind of thing. So,
Exactly. Which is annoying
but
because I'm getting impatient.
again, it's strictly rumors, so like take it with a grain of salt. Like chances are, I'm going back to the thought of everything just being misinterpreted. So maybe it's somebody
Yeah.
else, but it just happened to be like presumably guys we thought or something to that effect. Like maybe the rumor was wrong. Maybe it's not Lion-O or Panthro, but it just happens to be like, let me think. Like maybe it's not Panthro, maybe it's Linkso, because he kind of does look like, to a
Well,
degree, he kind of looks
yeah,
like
it kind of does.
I don't know what's the right word, like a repaint of Panthro
I mean, I don't know
and
about that,
Bengali,
but yeah, it's definitely uh closer to. Well, no, I don't know. I don't,
But you know what I'm saying? Because like they were both bald, they both have long ears.
yeah.
One of them has a beard, one doesn't. One's eyes is closed, one's open. So, but it's just certain parts of the shape of them kind of makes me think of that they're I won't say related, but they share parts, features, if
Okay,
you will.
yeah. I mean, one's based on a panther, the other one's based on lynx. So I don't know how many features they could share that are similar, but I get what you're saying.
The way
Oh,
they're drawn, that's the way I describe it.
yeah.
Kind of like how Bengali that you see, even technically they're brothers, Bengali and Tigra. So
Are they?
yeah, like I remember when that episode ran, that once Bengali became a tiger, a Thundercat. I was about to say Tiger Cat, about to turn to a Thundercat.
Thundercats
You automatically see
flow.
Tigra. Yeah, you automatically see Tiger walk up to him and scream, say brother. Like,
Uh, it could have been in the metaphorical sense.
yeah, maybe, but it's just that's that. Whenever I heard that, I always associated them being brothers.
Yeah.
So let's see. And do you have a page up for the other stuff, Transformers like Nemesis Prime and stuff? So,
No, I thought you had that.
oh, sorry, I thought you did. I'll run them up. So, but yeah, like it's the two the rumor is like they seem, I don't, they're on a solid source. So on
Yeah.
what on who's coming up. So like if they're true, uh I just hope my predictions come true on those figures.
Yeah.
Like the Lion-O, the Panthro. I definitely am open to the Panther man.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see.
Yep. I'm wondering if he's gonna come with his own. If he's gonna be a straight repaint of Battle Cat Man.
Yeah, you never know.
Yep.
I mean, I'm assuming he's probably gonna have different like armor pieces and stuff.
Right. I can't seem to find that page with the Nemesis Prime. Give me a second. So, but yeah, while I'm looking, I just want to talk about that. There's a rumor about Nemesis Prime repaint based on the Commander class Armada Optimus. So, and the rumor is that that aside from being a Commander class, I mean, based on Commander class Armada Optimus, he's also going to come with a minicon set called the Vorpal Blade, and it's supposed to be based on like a repaint of the minicon team, the Star Saber minicon team.
Yeah.
So
yeah. When
there you go.
All right. You're looking for images of the. Oh, okay. No.
Well, this is the page that's the rumor showing up. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's JT17 Prime, so he's probably not wrong.
Right.
But you know me, I like until I actually see something more substantial.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it's a rumor. It's it's nothing is 100%.
Yes.
But I know JT Prime is a pretty credible source. So I'm not gonna say, oh, that's totally false. It's just, well, it's a rumor. Nothing's confirmed yet. So until I see something more substantial, it's a rumor, and I'm not gonna knock whoever says it, especially if it's JT Prime 17, because we all know he's been giving us lists for God knows how long now.
Yes.
So
the other thing is, well, I'm just talking about from the pure speculation part of rumors, and there's a part of me that's hoping this isn't true, because when it came to Armada Optimus Commander class, I had no interest in buying him, because I was hoping that eventually they'll release a repaint of him in the final battle colors.
Oh, okay.
Like where he's just like gray with red stripes and stuff.
Yeah, and he's like a navy blue also. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to a degree, I'm still kind of going through Prime fatigue. So, and I didn't want to get that version of. Yep, but that's where I'm coming from, and I don't want to get another Nemesis Prime. So so there was a part of me I was hoping that eventually they'll do a repaint on Final Battle Optimus. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone loves a good Black Convoy or Nemesis Prime. No one likes Scourge.
Scourge.
But Missing Link is also supposed to be getting a repaint from like some Chinese source here on Weibo.
Yep.
But I feel like this might be a possibility also, because they've already done, was it Sentinel Prime, which is like a yellow Optimus Prime, and dude, they're gonna milk that mode. That mold for everything they got. So why not do a Nemesis Prime?
Yeah, definitely. I'm still waiting for the opportunity that they'll release him as a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime.
Dude, that would be so cool if they did that.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I feel like if I had the money and money wasn't an issue, I probably would get the Shattered Glass version, just to finally have like a Shattered Glass Optimus, because I do have Shattered Glass figures, but just not a lot.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's a fun color scheme, purple with green.
Yeah.
And like very muddy navy blue. It's like a very grayish blue of sorts.
Yeah,
but, I mean that's
like
how
dark navy. Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just that's a great fun color scheme. Like for someone like me that I think Prime is an awesome color, but it's just like maybe because I've owned so many Primes that I just want something different. So
yeah. I mean, like I said, like Prime fatigue. I get it. Believe me, I do.
Yes.
The only reason why I got this Prime is because I got him for $5 at a flea market,
Hmm.
and he's missing his weapons. But I mean, it he was missing from my collection, and
Yes.
I do like the classic series. Classics is basically what brought us to where we're at right now with Transformers.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so in a sense, this is kind of like like a great granddaddy to like modern day Optimus Primes.
Right.
Sans, with I would say with the exception of like Missing Link, because Missing Link is I don't know like a
Missing Link is the new
it's
era.
it's kind of its own thing also. So,
Hmm.
but like this is like a modern reinterpretation of Prime. Um, it's really cool too.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
ironically,
Granted.
the first time I got this mold, I got it
Mhm.
as Nemesis Prime.
So yeah, I did enjoy owning it for a time. My favorite thing about that Prime is that both of his guns are transformable, and they
Yeah,
integrate so well into the transformation of the vehicle mode.
yeah, I know. That's why like I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't get the weapons for it. But yet again, like
Hmm.
I said, it was only $5 at a flea market.
Right.
Like I couldn't pass it up. Like I'd rather I pay a little bit extra and get the weapons, than pass up just getting it because I'm pretty sure this goes for like a lot more than $5 right now.
Yeah, I think I sold mine for 30.
There you go. And how long ago was that?
That was like a 3 years ago.
Yeah, it might have gone up in price, but either way, I like if I really really wanted to get them, I would have gotten them by now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But for
Yes,
five
yes.
bucks, I couldn't pass them up.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah, definitely.
Prime fatigue. Like new series comes out, Prime. New series comes out, Prime.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, yeah, but going back to like Commander class Armada Optimus, that's why I was hoping I can get that final battle colors. And when it comes to the missing link thing, the what do you call it? I was tempted to get the Sentinel Prime color, that yellow with the red mask and stuff. But it's just
Yeah.
that the missing link figures, they're like 100 plus. So
Yeah. I mean, but you're paying for like die cast and you're paying for the engineering and everything.
right,
You know.
premium engineer and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm well aware of that. I'm not complaining. I'm just
Okay.
saying that
Yeah.
it's more like it's just too rich for me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll just look at it at admiration from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
So, other than that, the last rumor I'm aware of is that, let's see, other than Nemesis Prime, there's a rumor that there's going to be the Masterpiece line is releasing a new figure in Revenge of the Fallen Sideswipe. And I know your feelings when it comes to movie figures and designs, but
What are my feelings?
you don't collect movie figures that often.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, no, you're right.
exactly.
But yeah, I need to emphasize like not that often because I do get them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Not that often.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know. Well, I was emphasizing that more for the audience at home than
Yes.
for you.
Right.
I know you know, but I just like I said, I just wanted to emphasize that.
Yes.
That I don't get like I have like for instance, just to go on a slight tangent, I have
Yes.
like the Cyberverse or Legends scale Devastator.
Yeah, that was a great
At the
figure
time,
at the
at the
time.
time, it was like the only Devastator also that could transform into the individual robots
Mm-hmm.
and transform into their vehicles and still combine into Devastator.
Yeah, it was a fun toy.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I remember they did like a repaint of him as Devastate.
G1 colors?
G1 colors
I
and
believe
stuff.
that's the version I actually have. That's the version I have. It's a
Yes.
good one though. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm. But going back to Sideswipe, yeah, the rumor is that this is the figure that's coming out. And well, I don't know about you, Vic, but personally, I really did love the Sideswipe design. And
Oh, you know what? It wasn't bad, but I have only one issue with that.
which is,
It looks too much like Soundwave.
you know what it is, because he's colored silver, just like Soundwave. But then again,
know,
this is
Go ahead.
early movie line where everything was like very basic colors but supremely complex designs.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the problem. Like, there's so much to look on at movie figures that like it starts to blur, like all look the
Yes.
same, and like if it wasn't for the wheels on his feet, like I would think it's Soundwave because he's got like all these points on the top of his head.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, but me personally, like I was a big fan of this design, and I remember I have yet to see a figure for me that seems to do a great interpretation of this figure.
Yeah.
Like like not even Studio Series can get it right, in my opinion. So
Oh wow. Okay. Throw shade much?
yeah, but that's just my
I'm
honest
joking.
opinion. So,
Yeah. No,
but
I
yeah,
was
like
kidding.
the out of all the figures, the one I still own is the Human Alliance version of Sideswipe,
Oh, don't even
and
talk
that's
to me
not
about Human Alliance.
yeah, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. Not saying that's so like I'm wondering how it's going to look in the masterpiece line. Like
Yeah.
how are they going to translate this shape into a car and make both molds look good?
Yeah, I know it's the- mm,
I'm seeing a lot of backpack, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
A very compressed backpack at that.
Yeah, probably.
So, anyways, Vic, that's all I got from the agenda list for today. So, is there anything else you want to bring up? Oh yeah, did you want to bring up Joe Fest?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of news being released at Joefest.
Yes.
There's, oh my god, so much. Like, I mean, well, first of all, like we saw a bunch of things.
When you say we, you mean you, because I didn't go to Joe Fest.
Right. Well, when I say we, I mean we as in like the royal we, and that being not the queen, but like the public.
Yes.
The public has gotten a chance to see uh things like new Cops and Crooks figures from Chicken Fried
Oh.
Joys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great that we're at a point where we're seeing a lot of product on our favorite 80s other than I mean 80s brands and 90s brands aside
Yeah.
from Transformers, GI Joe, or the other things. I mean, like we're seeing stuff like Cops and
Yeah.
Crooks. So,
Which is really cool because like this here is the first wave. I don't remember if the guy I spoke to said they were in 2 packs or they just have them together in to a page here,
yes,
but there's definitely like two. Except for the first wave actually. The next wave will have like,
Spectator and Jerker, Berserko.
yeah,
Are these 2 packs?
I think they are.
Ah,
It's either that or they're individual.
yes,
But like, it is most of the time it's gonna be like a cop and then a
yes,
crook.
right. Now, this is third party, so these are like unofficial.
No, what are you talking about? This is official, dude.
Wow,
It's got the
really?
logo and everything.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like a play on the logo.
No, no, no. These are official, and we even got our first Sundown.
Nice.
That's the first one that's come out.
So,
You
what's the
know,
scale on these figures?
these are like 1/18 scale. They're like
So,
25th
like,
anniversary size Joes.
right, nice.
Yeah, and like I that might be the Sundown that I picked up at the show because I did
Very
get the
cool.
Sundown. I was like, what? Cops and Crooks? Hells yeah. I think they're like Cops and Crooks is like the only 6-inch figure scale line that I will be like, oh, I don't need to second guess it. Like I will buy it if I don't have it.
Yes.
It's about a medium sized line because they had about 2 waves of figures,
Right, right.
and I have maybe about 1 wave's worth, but spread out over the 2 waves.
Hmm.
So like for instance, I don't have Sundown.
Yes.
But I have Berserko. I have Long Arm, which is right here. I have buttons with Boom Boom, which is really cool.
Ah, nice.
And I just got Bullet. Yeah, I got Bullet at Joefest here.
Nice.
So, yeah. There's Bullet. I didn't get all his gear though, unfortunately. But it
Wait,
was
is
only
Bullet a
couple.
crook?
Yeah, he's a crook.
Is he like a later crook that showed up after season 1 and 2? Because I don't remember this guy.
I think he's like wave. Oh, you know what? Actually, he might have had 3 waves. I don't honestly remember right now off the top of my head.
Because I recognize the dude beside him, but I don't remember
Barricade?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was one of my favorites to the show.
Yeah. What
He
I'm
was the
waiting
dude
for
with-
is
yes.
Checkpoint.
Checkpoint?
Yeah, because Checkpoint is Beachhead's son.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember hearing that in some other review video
Yeah.
when it comes to Cops and Crooks.
Yeah, like he's like Wayne Schneed Jr. or something like that. Or the
Nice.
second. Or maybe the
Nice.
third. I don't remember. Might be his grandson if it's the third. I'm not 100% sure.
Mhm.
But definitely related to Beachhead of Shredder
Yes.
Joe. So that's pretty cool.
Wow, it seems like Hasbro was doing an expanded universe and not really
That's the
pointing
thing.
it out.
They don't own the license to Cops and Crooks.
Oh,
It's Fresh Monkey Fiction.
nice. I was just talking about during the time it was first released.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, but going back to this, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's cool that they got the license and making the toys and stuff.
Yeah. So Fresh Monkey Fiction has the license.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they own the rights, I should say. Fried Chicken
Yes.
Toys is the company that has the license to make the figures.
Ah, nice.
And like I said, we've got the Sundown. But yeah, we're getting like they have 8 figures planned. Hopefully, we get more. It's freaking awesome. Like and you know what the crazy thing is that Fresh Monkey Fiction is doing the 6-inch figures. I don't have a picture of it.
Yes.
But the first one that they have announced is bulletproof, and he will have a
Nice.
soft goods like overcoat.
And this is the same scale and everything.
That's gonna be 6-inch for the
Nice.
bulletproof. That's because they're doing 6-inch on their own.
Right.
Fried Toys only has the license for 4-inch figures. Or 1/8
Oh, I
scale.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, this is all
Got
1/8
it. So,
scale.
so we're getting 2 different scales, kind of like what's happening with Joy Toy and Storm Arena with the
Yeah,
KOF series.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. You know.
So at least the companies are covering each scale, eh?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff being announced, being shown off. This is Impact, which is like a little lesser known line. That came out. I forget from whom. But it came out like late 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And these are like some new O-ring figures from Whiskeyjack Toys.
Nice.
They're the same guys who are doing Hiddens of the Legend and Eagle Force O-ring figures.
Sweet.
And these are like hand painted resin samples, but Jesus Christ, look at this. They look great.
Yeah, that backpack looks cool.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the accessories that figures will come with. And this was like this is like the art.
Yep.
For the figures that they have here.
Is it like card art or packaging art?
This might be packaging art. I didn't actually ask. I should have.
Right.
But, you know, it's all based off of the vintage Impact line.
Yes.
You know, and there's some homages here, like Athena here is supposed to be like an homage to
I recognize her outfit. I just can't put my
Glenda.
finger on it.
She was like the I think it's Argentinian repaint of Scarlet.
Right. I see a lot of Scarlet in her design.
Yeah. And then, you know, like Wolf is kind of like, he looks kind of like Duke. Hotshot's kind of
Yes.
like probably original to Impact itself.
Yeah.
These are like cuffs, I believe, are more like your generic, you know, like
Your army
guys.
builders.
Yeah, army builders. Yes, thank you. And then Eagle here, I found out, which is awesome. I think. Eagle is sorry, there was something on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Eagle is it's a kind of like an homage or a callback to John Eagle from the core.
Okay,
Uh,
that's I'm not familiar with this, but I can imagine it's a big deal.
yeah, because basically the core was usually those like O-ring figures that everyone's like, oh, it's just like a bootleg Joe, you know.
Right,
But I mean, they were knockoff Joes.
but I'm
But
assuming they're very popular within the fandom, right?
oh, the core? Hell's yeah,
Yes.
hell's to the yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
that's cool, dude.
Giant core. Yeah.
Were you looking at stuff on the core?
Well, I just wanted to show you a picture of John Eagle.
Nice. Of the like a prototype of this figure that you're showing me the box art
Yeah, I
of.
was gonna show you the picture of the core figure.
Oh, that's related to or inspired.
Right there.
Okay. So that
Yeah.
picture you showed me a few moments ago, that this is supposed to be a reference to this figure.
Yeah.
Very cool, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And
But
then,
yeah, it's awesome. Like, what's the name of that company again? And that toy line?
it's Impact, and
Yes.
the company that's currently going to do it is Whiskeyjack Toys, which has
Whiskeyjack.
they're doing Hiddens of the Legend, which is really close to production. No, it's being shipped, I should say.
Yes.
And these are some more of the core guy. Not the core, the Impact guys. But here we go. This is Legends of the Hidden, which is also Whiskeyjack.
Nice.
Yeah, they're working out some last minute kinks, but these are carded samples that they got from China. So they're really close to being released soon.
Sweet.
These look amazing. I can't wait to get all these in the mail. And then they had a sample of Savitar from Eagle Force, which I am a huge proponent of. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, you showed me these pictures before.
Did I? Well, this is
a
sample
while
from
ago.
Joefest.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that you mentioned
Yeah.
you showed these pictures before, so like I'm assuming that they're closer in production now.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, I think they said maybe later this year. I honestly don't remember. It was a lot to take in because I talked to a lot of people. That Savitar looks awesome.
Yeah. The rain hat and everything.
Yeah, and these figures are just awesome. I mean, granted, there's a lot of part swapping. It's very Motu-like in that sense.
A clever reuse of parts.
Right, but also they have this guy who's like an homage to an unreleased Tiger Force figure. I think it was the Storm Shadow, if I remember correctly.
Right.
But then you got this guy who's like the sort of like the main character, and it's the same mold, completely different character, and it looks good,
Yes.
Like
that
honestly,
they really.
I feel like they could do like a Ninja Gaiden homage also if they did them like purple and red, not like this navy.
Like they chose how to color it properly. So yeah, it's like, hey, good repaint's a good repaint. I mean, like, look what we got with Transformers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many people like compulsively get Seekers because they repainted them a couple of times, and well, now you got to get them all.
Right, and then each repaint stands as its own. So if you make a really good repaint, you've got a great character. So.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look
Or
at
vice
Optimus
versa.
Prime.
Oh yeah, I mean you got your Optimus, you got your Ultra Magnus,
you got your Nemesis,
then you got your Nemesis,
and now you got and Shatterglass. I mean, even though Shatterglass is just as old as all of them, but he's still kind of new to a degree.
Yeah, I would say Shatterglass Optimus is probably like the newer colorway, let's say.
Right, but anyways, going back to this, yeah. So these ninjas look great.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Same guy, same mold.
Yep.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Guys.
I can see like a Nemesis ninja there.
Yeah, I think that's Knockout. I don't remember. I don't remember all their names, but I will when I get them in the house, because I, I I helped kickstart this. I went all in with this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I mean, I even like pre-ordered the like there's two figures. Yeah, this brown
Yeah.
guy
Mm-hmm.
and the clear version. They're exclusives to two stores. So I already
Yes.
pre-ordered them. Like I couldn't get it as part of the Kickstarter, but I did manage to pre-order them, which is pretty cool.
So let me ask you this: did you mention to the guys that you were one of the you're a backer?
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
I always do. Because like I also got to talk to I didn't really get any pictures from Callsign Longbow, but it's another
Mm-hmm.
like O-ring inspired line. Again,
Yes.
more military stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they have some really like amazing um like they have like this Russian ninja. So it's like basically a ninja with like one
Yes.
of those fur hats,
Mm-hmm.
and he's called Crassi Ninja. And like
Crassi Ninja.
they had him, and they had a bunch of other people, and like it's getting really close to being released. Like I think that's gonna come out before Legends of the Hidden. And
Oh.
there's like a lot of good stuff that's like O-ring related. Um, it's an exciting time, I gotta say. It really is. You know,
You
just to
feel
be
like
like
O rings is
O-ring
coming
fans.
back?
What's that?
You feel like O rings are coming back in style?
Oh, totally. I mean, I feel like Hasbro would do it themselves if it wasn't for the fact that I feel like they don't want to do toys anymore. They just want to hold IPs, you know?
Right. Yeah. Like I keep hearing that they're trying to like license out their toys to other toy makers, and yeah, they just
Hmm.
want to be a licensed company. And like I
Yeah,
think I keep hearing they want to focus on video games and stuff.
which is stupid, but whatever. It's not my company. It's not how
Right.
I run
Well,
it. But
so
I wouldn't
long
do
as
that, you know?
uh, yeah, no comment. I'm not a businessman, so I'm not gonna act like I should tell them what to do in some cases. But so long as they make Transformer toys, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, it would be nice if like they continued Super Seven, but also it would be nice if Super Seven did like a ball and socket neck joint as opposed to the
Hmm.
swivel. You know, because I get that when they first came out, like the characters they did were released in 1983, but once we
Hmm.
hit like 1980, I think it was 84, 85, characters like Serpentor had a ball and socket neck, and I'm pretty sure this one won't.
Yeah,
You know.
I know.
And Tomax and Xamot, perfect example. They came out with
Yes,
Tomax and Xamot in the suits,
right.
which they look great, but
Hmm.
they don't have ball and socket necks. They have a swivel neck, which is kind of a little annoying.
Uh,
But I don't really let it get to me because we finally got him in a suit, in like a proper
yeah.
suit, you know. So
I don't
pretty pleasing
remember.
me.
I remember seeing those figures, but I didn't really keep my eye on it. Did both figures that they kind of had like the opposite mold, like they have like separate, different moldings where their parts are somewhat like in the opposite position of certain, like because like I remember the they when they actually had the figures, one had the collar and placement on one side, and the other character had it in the opposite direction. So I was
Right.
wondering, when it comes to the suit version, did they kind of had something like that, where certain things are on one side for one brother, they're like the opposite on the other brother?
One moment. Okay. To answer your question, yeah, they did.
Nice,
You could see the flower on the opposite sides,
right,
and then one has a scar and one doesn't have the scar.
right.
You know, and actually kind of like put their guns in suitcases on the opposite arms.
Yes, yes.
So,
Trying to keep that whole theme that they're brothers, but different people still. You
right.
didn't get repaints, or you didn't get doubles of one figure.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Super 7, I did speak to Brian Flynn.
Oh, very cool.
Um, we're supposed to be, I don't know, it's a matter of when, not if, getting the rest of Cold Slither. And while he could neither confirm nor deny it, I did put it out there to him that we need a Hector Ramirez.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
I
Oh,
told him that we need a
right,
Hector
yeah,
Ramirez
yeah.
figure.
The Geraldo Rivera
Yeah, exactly.
archetype.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, dude, he shows up in Humanoids. He shows up in Gem.
Yeah.
He shows up in Transformers and GI Joe.
Yeah.
Like, we need a Hector Ramirez.
Yeah, he's the Phil Coulson of the Hasbro universe.
I mean, dude, with this mold alone,
Yes.
you're like halfway there.
Yep. All you need to do is just change the head, and that's it.
Maybe the torso also, but either way, like most of the work is done. You know, you give him a little microphone. You know, I don't know,
Mustache,
maybe a camera,
the mustache, and everything.
Well, yeah, obviously he's gonna have his mustache.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's not Hector Ramirez.
No, but that's cool that you talk to Brian Flynn and stuff, and just to get just to share your thoughts on your request and all that stuff.
Yeah, you know, he was pretty easy to talk to too, which I appreciated. You know, I mean,
of course, like
he's running a business, and you know, like you kind of have to kind of give him some kind of respect, because no matter what you may think as a fan,
right.
It's his business. He runs it the way he thinks he should run it.
Right. He's still around, like, so you know.
Exactly. It's like they're making the figures, not us,
right.
not the fans.
So yeah, regardless of my opinions of the choices he's made with the figures and like the quality of them, I can't deny the fact that he's still around, still making them. So, and people are happy. People are happy. It's just I'm not one of them. So.
I mean, I'm relatively happy.
Yes.
Like, he made Fatal Flurries, you know, or Fatal Fluffies, I should say. So,
yes.
You know, Fatal Fluffies are great. I have 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I love just having them in the package. I don't want to have them in the package, but it's great just to have them in the package.
Yes.
You know, I want to get more, to be honest. I really do. But you know. You run your business the way you run it.
Exactly. You know, I am looking forward to some of the stuff he's making, like, and stuff. So, like, I didn't write it up on my the agenda list, but I just heard that he's releasing the I forgot the name of the vehicle for Thundercats. The
Thunder Tank?
Not the Thunder Tank.
No, the Feliner.
Not the Feliner. That flying machine that some of the mutants fly.
Oh,
yeah, the Sky Cutter, I think they call it.
The Sky Cutter, yes, the Sky Cutter.
Yeah, so I thought it was kind of cool that he's releasing that vehicle along with Vulture Man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I used to have the Sky Cutter.
Yeah, Sky Cutter was such a very simple yet cool design. The one thing that I kept from time to time, I was like wondering when they designed it, did they design the Sky Cutter in mind where the blades happen also to be the wheels of the vehicle? So look at that.
What do you mean?
Like, oh yeah, never mind. Like, cause like I always see the blades here, and like for a time I kept thinking, are these blades also the wheels when it's in?
No, because the wheels are right.
I see it right there.
The way it looks there, exactly. That's how the toy used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I had it. So I remember it very well.
Very cool.
Yeah. They would kind of like turn inward.
Yes, but man,
it was a cool vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I just
very simple design, but like it works. It's like very minimalistic in some cases. Like that's the blaster of it. The blades, you know, again, like now that you're telling me that's where the wheels are, but it's just for a time I kept thinking these were also the wheels. And if it's, you know, it's just such a simplest design and everything. I love the wings.
Yeah. Yeah, the wings are cool.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, aside from that, is there anything else in Joefest?
I'm trying to remember.
Yes, but so yeah, you spoke to Brian Flynn. You checked out all these like cops line, and all these other O-ring figures.
Right.
So
So right. Actually, there was one more thing.
yes,
It's a line called Rise of the Nexus.
Rise of the Nexus.
And if you were paying attention, yeah, and like I kind of inadvertently showed some of the pictures that I had taken, but it's a Kickstarter that hasn't quite started yet. I think it starts in September. But yet again, more O-ring figures. You know,
Nice.
like, there was definitely a lot of love for O-ring figures at Joefest. You know, like it's a small Kickstarter, couple of figures, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's like 5 or 6 figures, but I mean, they look good. They look great. You know.
Look awesome, dude.
Yeah. This one kind of looks like Snake.
Of course
Plissken,
it does.
Like.
They probably did it on
And
purpose.
That one reminds me of Shadow Tracker from G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but either way, it's a pretty cool looking figure.
Yeah.
And then like there's that female figure. The really neat thing though is that figure, right?
Yes.
The mask comes off.
Ah. So they're not showing who the face of this character is? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. He looks like he's giving a finger.
Okay, that's just a rivet shining off in the light.
Yeah.
But look at that face. Do you recognize that face?
I have an idea, but I just can't put my finger on it.
It's John Barenthal. He plays the Punisher on Daredevil.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and then here's some more like
a Snake Plissken guy looking guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No. These are just. Oh, I did take a picture.
Nice.
Yeah, there's Cressy Ninja right here.
Yep.
Up here.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you got the Russian guys, and Ghost is this guy, which comes with like a lenticular shield.
Yeah.
And if you notice, like he goes like invisible.
Nice.
Which is really cool.
Yes. Transparent, elastic.
Yeah, this is a really cool figure. I actually picked up an extra one because this is the only figure that's been released so far from this line.
Right.
Only because it shares tooling with what the hell is his name? The Skeletron figure, because this is a Skeletron O-ring figure.
Right.
So a lot of the parts are the same. So yeah, he got released. Is that the only picture?
Very cool. Oh, they showing all the breakdown and stuff.
Well, okay, so moving right along, that is for World War Hell.
Okay.
Which is a Kickstarter that is currently going on right now, and yeah, this is the breakdowns of the figure.
Yes.
Ball and socket head on a ball and socket joint on the bottom there. Wrist articulation, but it also has like it goes like that. Aside from side to side,
yeah, swivel
back and forth,
swivel of sorts.
Yeah, and then dude, ankle rockers.
Ah, ankle rockers.
Yeah, this is from not Grindhouse. It's Grindhouse Toys. Grindhouse Toys.
Nice.
They've actually gotten funded too, which is nice.
Woohoo!
So this is like we're gonna get these figures. Like yet again, I went all in.
Nice.
To help kickstart this. I mean, dude, look at this figure, Corpse.
Now I noticed that
that's an O-ring figure.
Wow.
It's like a zombie.
Wow, and the blood effects and everything. So I just noticed that the boxes behind them look like Blockbuster cases.
Yeah, that's done on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I don't think I have any pictures of the booth. But when you, I don't have pictures of the booth.
Yeah.
But it looks like a video store.
I noticed that. I was gonna bring that up.
It kind of looks like a video store.
I was gonna bring that up. I just noticed that you're so into like presenting this stuff. So I was like, "What's going on there? It looks like a video store over there."
Yeah, That's that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
You know,
Looks great so
this
far.
is another one. Look at that. They kind of look. These guys kind of look like the Red Shadows from Action Force.
Yeah.
But they're
Love that
cool.
head sculpt with the bloody.
This
Yeah,
one?
that one with the blood, that bloodied up head.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's like and this is like an O-ring figure, dude.
Nice.
O-ring figure.
So you're like about like this tall and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Service Trooper. I think this is one of like the bad guy troopers, or maybe it's the good guy troopers.
Yep.
I don't remember. Dude, the Harbinger, a Steamboat Willie, like
right.
And the best part is, this is completely legal because
Yes.
he's now public domain.
Yep.
Steamboat Willie,
Yep.
that design is public domain.
Yeah, I just find it comical that the only people who are really like milking that license are horror related.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of the comic creators have done that too. That weren't necessarily like horror comic artists, but yeah, he's getting some usage. You know, this is another one, Sergeant Graves.
Yes,
I think he might be like. It's just like a regular military figure, but it looks fantastic. Like,
I'm guessing that's face paint.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm thinking.
It looks
kind of like that Punisher face paint, but
yep.
green.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a cleaner
right
head.
Looks like I can't help but think of Sergeant Savage when I see this setup with the helmet.
Yeah, it's the helmet.
Right.
It's because also like I'm pretty sure this takes place during World War II,
Mm-hmm.
which Sergeant Savage does allude to, taking place partially in World War
right.
II. So I could see why you would think that. I don't know. Is it me or does this head look a little bit like Chris Hemsworth?
It has a lot of details I've seen Chris Hemsworth known for.
Yeah, it looks a bit like him.
I mean, hey, if you want to repurpose this as Chris Hemsworth, then more power to you. Yeah. Oh, that's cool with all these swapped heads. And the Necronomicon.
He's got like a leather face mask, a black hood.
Yeah.
He comes with like a Necronomicon.
Yeah. Now is that? Well, I know I don't know if you could tell from this from looking at it, but that Necronomicon, is that an actual molded? So like, or is it molded like that, or is it possible it can open up?
Oh, that's a good question.
Either way, if it can't, I'm not complaining. I'm just curious if it could.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll find out when I find out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll let you know when I find out.
Yes. Oh, that's
this guy looks cool. Also, Sergeant Spectre. He's like a ghost.
Is it glow in the dark?
Flaming ghost. I might. I wouldn't be surprised if it
nice.
Does. I mean, if it does.
Right.
What's wrong with me today?
I get it.
Scream Army Men from Hell.
Right.
That's fucking great.
Oh shoot! I didn't even notice it until now. The way the stand is designed, it almost looks like kind of like the way those Army Men figures were molded.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
Yeah, these guys were having fun when they thought this up.
Yeah, and if you notice, I just noticed also this Grindhouse logo right here. That's the font for Toys R Us.
Yeah, I'm noticing that now. Now that you point it out.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry for the yawning, guys. It's a little late,
right.
So
looks like you covered a lot with this toy line. I mean, with Joefest.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Joefest was a lot of fun. Actually, I'm going to be hitting up Joe Lanta in September. So I don't know if there's going to be any news being made over there, but if there is, I will definitely let you and everyone else out there that watches our show know.
Yes. Anyways, well, that's all the news I've wrote up for this week.
Yeah, I think I'm tapped out also, so I guess we'll call it an end for tonight.
Yep. Next week is going to be a lot more fun. It's going to be a Super Saturday for us.
That's right. Our next episode will have our review with Superman, which will be the second part of Super Fantastic World July. it used to be super fantastic, but then Jurassic Park World came
Yeah.
out. So either way, expect another movie review. We already bought our tickets,
Yep.
so expect a movie review for Superman, and we'll see you next week, God willing, if I remember to edit and put everything together in the episode. 'cause
Right.
As of this recording, which is
July.
July 6th, 2025, I have not put out our previous episode.
Yeah. Again, no
So
pressure.
I
but-
apologize, guys. That's on me. I've had a very busy week.
Right.
Right. You know. So either way, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave some comments, and if you're gonna criticize us, at least do it constructively and help us get better at this.
Right.
We are doing the best that we can.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
we're very new
we're
to
kinda
this.
learning as we go.
Exactly.
So, if you're gonna criticize us, please let it be constructive criticism.
Mhm.
Thanks for watching, and be excellent to each other. Bye.
Bye.